he's built a roster that most fans say we like what we see at a lot of different spots. The one weakness most people are saying is, we're not getting enough sack total, and Aiden can do it, but not much else. What do you make of the fans' fixation? Is it too much? Is it too much?
Well, no, two things. Number one, you're exactly right. They were a bottom 10 sack team. They were 10th. Now, sacks isn't everything. You get pressures, you get hurries, you get enough pressures, and you get in the face. The week 18 game against Sam Darnold was pressure city. All right, and sacks, but so many pressures on Darnold that he was rattled. He threw interceptions, and he missed a lot of open receivers. Some of those misses don't go down as sacks, hurries, pressures, anything. They just, if he feels that pocket collapsing on him, the Lions did a great job. But like you just pointed out, Johnny, that they blitzed so much in week 18 that the next week you knew they weren't going to do as much. It was in 2 weeks when they lost to the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels had all day to throw. I look at it from Brad. I think Brad, and I mentioned this on my show yesterday, I think Brad was trying to move up. Mike Payton at A to Z wrote that he kind of thought maybe the Lions would try to move up ahead of Cincinnati to get Shamar Stewart, which is a guess. I mean, Holmes himself said, I was making calls. I was trying. So maybe it was Stewart, maybe it was Pierce that they were going after. So I think him going, all right, I worked, the fans and the media don't know what I was doing behind the scenes to try to get one. And then I get called out. Then I go on the ticket with Costa and Jansen, and they're asking me about it. I'm sick of it. But at least he was real and transparent. But that's number one, that he was trying. Number two, I do think when they looked at their board after some of those first groups of edge guys, I think that they were feeling like we can wait, that a lot of the guys maybe in those mid rounds, the 4, 5, and 6 rounds, are all kind of equal. And they wanted the guy in Hassanein that really sort of fit their profile. He's big. He's kind of more of a bull rusher. He's got to learn the game more, and they got to get him some more moves than just smashing into a tackle and going around him. He's got to have a spin move. He's got to have some twitch to his game. But they want to work with him, and they feel like with their defense and their D-line coach and everything else that they will. And obviously the kid got on the phone and said he would die for Dan Campbell. So that's what they want. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, no doubt. And I do think that just because of the injury history, it's hard for the fan base and a lot of media to accept that the Lions are going into 2025, the season, with Marcus Davenport as number one opposite of Aiden Hutchinson on the depth chart. That's the case. That's the guy that knows about Dan Campbell, knows about playing for a coach that has that much intensity. So they're counting on some luck for a player that prior to the last couple of years has the makeup of a prototypical defensive end that can do something. So if the Lions are able to, and it's hard to remind people because, everybody, has the recency bias, Marcus Davenport can play the position if he's healthy. So we'll see. But what do you think of the pick of Ahmen Hassanein? Great story. I do think that, I do think he'll endear himself pretty quickly to this fan base. I do think the area will get to know his story and understand a player that, hey, is going to work hard and potentially, maybe not year one, but maybe be a slight upgrade than James Houston was as a 6th round pick.
Oh gosh, you just dropped the James Houston line in 11 minutes in. I don't know, John. I like it because it's a body. They needed to add bodies to that edge room to you got Pascal on the last year of his deal. You hope that if he slides outside, we can see a little bit more from him. They brought back Muhammad. He's fine. Like you mentioned before, what if Davenport gets hurt again? I do see a scenario where we're going to see some McNeil, some Reeder, some Tyleek Williams in the middle, and then you slide Onwuzurike to the edge. But Levi's better inside. He's fine at the edge, and he did a nice job last year. They're probably hoping him on a 1-year deal will contribute so much that he'll get paid and probably have to get paid somewhere else. So there's options, but I like that there's a body there. I like that it's a guy that will do anything, work really hard, had over 20 sacks in 2 years at Boise State. So that's good. But again, I mean, my one concern is there were some guys earlier in the draft that maybe have a little bit more pedigree and a little bit more, I don't know, just more moves and they're more polished. But I also understand what they were trying to do. And when you move up and when you make picks, trades, you lose other picks, and that's okay. If they think Tesla, which they said, we need a younger receiver. If that's the guy and he blocks like crazy, like he did at the Senior Bowl and turned a lot of heads. It wasn't just the Lions that saw the blocking. Jim Nagy was telling me, who ran the Senior Bowl, he's like, this kid he was treating the Senior Bowl like it was a high school championship game. So, and he of course was in it in the state of Michigan years ago. So you love that. I don't think they're done though. John, I think Zadarius Smith, we're going to find a way that I think he'll be back on this roster somehow, but it probably won't be until like September 1st.